Hi, in this video I want to talk about a theme that's really difficult for many people who grew up with a narcissistic mother, and that is guilt. Because you grow up and then you become an adult and you've had a lot of pain growing up, and if you still have a relationship with her, then it is difficult. And for some people, and awakening up to seeing where all this dysfunction actually originates, being able to see that it is your narcissistic mother, has been a really long and hard process before one gets there. So I want to talk about the guilt today that lots of people are feeling. Maybe you also, if you go low contact or no contact. Or even if you set boundaries, you say no to her, or you prioritize yourself. So let's talk about guilt. And my name is Åse Wegerif, and I also have the experience of having a narcissistic mother myself personally, and I am a registered counselor, and I help people one-on-one worldwide. So you can contact me through my email on the YouTube channel if you're interested in that. But anyway, let's get to it. So guilt is a feeling that we all connect with, and from time to time, and probably now you're watching this video, you might be feeling it a lot, and it's very uncomfortable, and it makes you feel really bad about yourself, like I'm a terrible person, who does this? And knowing that I've moved, for instance, if you've moved away to get away from her, maybe you've even moved country. Lots of people actually do, and I do talk to people who do this, many. And so there's plenty for you to feel guilty about. But guilt is actually a feeling that can be healthy. It can help one to see that one has done something, take ownership of that, correct however you're doing things, and create better outcomes, better relationships. So it can be a really healthy feeling, but then it usually you try to correct something and then it feels lighter or it's gone. But what I'm talking about here is the sort of relentless feeling of that you're bad, you're wrong. Think about what do other people really think about you, because communicating and talking about a narcissistic mother is for most of us very difficult, because nobody else maybe knows, and they see her very differently because that's how she manipulates people. So from the outside, it can indeed look very much like you're guilty of something here, and that you are bad for what you do. But those people don't know the full picture. So, so what are you guilty of then? People awaken to having a narcissistic mother, and it usually takes pain over decades. Like, lots of people wake up when they are their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s and beyond. So, and lots of people do go, in the end, there's so much pain, there's so much suffering, there's so much dysfunction, it's so exhausting, it's overwhelming, it's anxiety provoking, it's chaotic, it's everything. And lots of people then go no contact or low contact, or set boundaries, or move away, or don't then help their then aging parents. So, but the thing is, it's done out of ending the self-sacrificing. It's done out of self-protection. It's done out of self-preservation. It's done so that she won't steal more of your life, because she did steal, or steal is maybe a hard word, but the reality of it is very hard, and painful, that you didn't grow up to be and encouraged to be yourself. You did grow up to be molded so that she could use you. So you've basically used a lot of your life already from you were born until you became an adult. And most of us carry on these patterns into adulthood. And often we also regress when we're around our older parents, so that we end up, despite managing better other places, still yet come into that helper role with them, self-sacrificing, taking all the badness upon ourselves, and still being in that role with our aging parents. So this is the reason why lots of people actually live their whole life ending relationships that the parent didn't like, letting that parent control their relationship. And you can see how much unhealth, how much pain, how much suffering this causes. So the reality is, looking at it from seeing the whole picture, if you've come to a point where you had to go low contact or no contact, then you most likely had to do it, and there was no other way. So to be healthy, we have to be in a healthy dynamic. We have to protect ourselves. And who's going to do that? You have to do it yourself, or at least it has to start there. You have to do self-care. You have to develop self-love. You need empathy for yourself first and foremost. And so you have to do good things for yourself. You have to love yourself, and you have to try to take away the things that get you down, and the things that are not helping you, and the things that are abusive and difficult, and so on. So it's easy to say, it's not so easy to do, of course, all this. But if someone, your narcissistic mother, is abusing you continuously, then it's self-preserving to do something about it structurally, as in low contact or no contact. The thing is that she has molded you. For many of us, it meant that we became over-responsible, over-empathic, over-sensitive to others. We tried to be who the other person wanted us to be. We gave up our own things and let them decide. We've molded into a survival personality like this, a pleasing kind of personality, over-giving, over-responsible. And this is what she wanted from you, because she just wants to take from you. But the problem is then that lots of other people are also going to start to take from you, because you can't just step out of your personality like that. You can work with it over time to step out, but you need a process and a commitment and some work to do that. Please let me know if you're interested in that. So there's your survival personality. There's also inside you a wounded child, that is the little girl or boy who feels really bad about themselves, who feels like they're worthless, who feels like they're wrong, they're guilty, they're shameful. And this part of you will, whether you're in contact with it a lot or not, that part of you will feel like your mother is right, will feel like you're wrong for breaking the contact with her, because your mom's always right and you're always the bad one. So there will be inner support of that guilt inside of you from that wounded child. And there's also a child that really longs for mom and just really attaches to her and really believes that deep inside she will give you all the love and all the wonderful things unconditionally that you always dreamt of. Of course, you know that part is not realistic, and you know that part is a dreaming sort of part, but it's there. And this one can still, people get tripped up by it, because the fantasizing that that child does, the romanticizing that that child does, the rose painting that that child does can actually sometimes color the way you look at her and play on your empathy, and this will then add more to your guilt. So you need to be aware of these processes inside of yourself. You need to be aware of these parts that have these voices or these tendencies, these feelings inside of yourself, so that you're not just run by them. You're not run by a pleasing survival personality. You're not run by this wounded child that feels that you're the bad one, and really bad, terrible for doing this to your mother. You need to be aware of this child that has a tendency to really just desperately wants to do something so that mom will finally love you, because she never will. So, and also lots of us get so used to being abused that we don't even see it. We just stay in it, and we don't believe that there's anything better for us that we deserve. So one of the ways of helping you with this guilt is to see the entire picture. See that you are indeed a pleaser and an empath, because when you have experienced the level of pain that you have as that child who's been so emotionally abused, and maybe abused in other ways too, then you do get an experience of knowing that pain to a level which other people who don't get this they haven't been there. So this is the seed and chime of growing into an empath that really is sensitive. It's a wonderful, wonderful gift to have, but not the part of that which she can use and manipulate. So you need to be really discerning, and this is a process then, but I'm talking about it in this video about guilt because of knowing about your tendencies, but yeah. The one who knows what's best for you is your higher self. It's the spirit. If you believe in it, you can just use the word authentic self if you're not spiritual. But if you are spiritual, it's your higher self, that spirit deeply inside of you knows what's right for you at all time. It's that voice that whispers at the back that tells you to set boundaries with her and protect yourself. It's that voice inside that knows that you did this out of love for yourself, and it may be even for her, because to end that she's abusing you in this way. So, and also you can't, how can you care for others better than you care for yourself? You can't. It starts with self-love. It starts with taking care of yourself. So, and that, yeah. So are you actually only guilty of self-preservation, of protecting yourself, of not wanting to sacrifice yourself anymore? That is probably the truth of it. And there might be sometimes some other things that you are actually guilty of, like that you could have done differently and so on. But at the same time, we're also humans who make mistakes, and you probably learned that that was very terrible to do and that you're really bad for it and so on. But it's not, we all make mistakes, and we all, as long as you try then to do your best, but you need to do your best for you. Your job is to do the best for you first, and then for others. So if you want relief from your guilt, I think that seeing what kind of guilt you have, what are you actually guilty of? Maybe writing some comments for this video, below this video, about what resonated most with you. Maybe there's something you didn't agree with. What are you guilty of, and how do you cope with your guilt? So seeing other people's experiences can really help in a process like this, because if you write that, then that can be helpful. You can be helping someone else. And then guilt is also like, be with your guilt next to it. Don't push it away, because feelings will always return if they're pushed away. Try to be with it and even look at it and even like magnify it, and because then you can express it, maybe in a journal, maybe commenting below this video, maybe talking to someone who you really trust and will be supportive to you if you have that person, but not to someone who you know by experience won't be supportive. And so expressing it, getting to know it, and then but seeing the entire picture is really important. And I haven't got more answers than this, but I really hope that this has been helpful, and I hope to see you again. And please like, subscribe or comment to my video, and you're very welcome to be here. I'm really glad that you're here. Bye bye.